Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CRM Zen Show, where we talk about all things Zoho. This is episode 288, recorded on Friday, February 2nd, 2024. We know who you are. From Zenatta Consulting, I'm Brett Martin.
And I'm Tyler Colt, and let's get right on into the show.
Yes, we shall.
I promise.
So, Tyler, how's your bamboo doing? You been watering it lately?
It's doing real well, growing in nicely. Yeah, it's
Let me see.
very
You had
happy
it a
plant.
minute ago. We were looking at it. It's such a nice looking little bamboo plant there. Look at that.
Needs a little trim, though. Some of the leaves are getting a little brown on the edges.
Yeah, it's looking a little bushy.
Just a little bit. We promise that our creepy show title will make sense when we get to the appropriate story. We're not being creepy stalkers.
Oh, yeah. This is the major. We've got two. We got one major announcement that's like more of a tease. It just hurts me. And then we have another one that's just really cool. So there's a lot. Kind of a slow news week, only 5 stories, but 2 of them are pretty cool, pretty major. And we're going to make them exciting.
We'll stretch it. Don't worry, everybody.
We'll stretch the shows when we do. And we
have
we have nothing better to do. It's Friday. I don't want to do anything else. So I tell you, I'm moving.
Yeah, told me. Yeah. I don't know if you've mentioned it on the show yet.
I told the audience. I know, leaving California. It's like, and I'm leaving California for Las Vegas. So, but isn't there a show called Leaving Las Vegas? I don't know.
So,
it could be my temporary domicile for the time being. Is I'm gonna hide out in Las Vegas and avoid California taxes. Figure out where we want to live. I don't know. I'm kind of going on. I got to figure this out because we're going on this road trip around the U.S. to see all the Zenatta people and see some Zenatta clients and things like that. I got to map some people out. It's a lot to do there.
A lot of planning.
Yeah. I'm stretching. Stretching the show out. That's all we're doing here. All right. Now let's head over to Club Z and look at some announcements and events. Do we have any announcements, Tyler?
I don't think so. It's rare that we have an announcement nowadays. It's
we
had a couple when we'd release those training courses, but yeah, everything really just goes into events more than announcements.
How about like some pronouncements? Like,
Can you give me an example?
I'm swell. How about you? I don't know.
The must-see content that people go to Club Z for. How is Brett doing today?
Right here, I'd like the announcements, and then I want to have pronouncements. We just, life isn't fair.
There we go.
Life is hard. Life is easy.
But finding the next upcoming Zoho event is easy over at Club Zenatta. You like that little segue? Look at that.
Very, very nice.
Look at that. So coming up this month, I think we're going to be doing the Zoho Recruit full product webinar. That will be a good one. Lots and lots of people using that more and more. We found ourselves getting pretty deep into it last year.
And who are you doing that with? Because it's not me.
No, probably myself and Josh would be my bet. He set up most of it for the Zenatta team. So yeah, he honestly knows more than me nowadays on it.
He is the big recruit guy for sure. Sure. And then we've got to get together and do our Zoho One All Zoho app thing as well. I know we talked about it. And we got Zoho Vault full product overview in March. That's exciting. Always is Oz. And I guess we have nothing planned for April yet. The rest of the year is just, it's the big unknown. Something to look forward to.
There we go.
And also over on Club Z, we not only keep track of all our events, but we also keep track of everything in the world of Zoho. So you can, they've got a huge February coming up. Learn how to create and design documents and SOPs, Zoho Writer, empowering social media marketing efforts with Zoho Social, Zoho CRM Plus Customer Experience Workshop. That's a live event in Los Angeles, in-person event. So if you're in LA, go hang out with the Zoho team. But Zoho is stepping up their in-person and virtual events in February. So check that out as well. And we got invited to, we don't know what they're doing yet, but evidently the partners are going to get a full preview of a whole bunch of cool stuff that's happening for Zoho Desk. I sent that out. That's it's this week, next week. So looking at that should be pretty cool as well. All right, we've taken enough time here over at going through events. We'll come back to Club Z a little later on, and I'll tell you how cool that is. But for now, let's get on to the news. Oh boy, backflips should be in order. Zoho is announcing rich text fields in Zoho CRM. This is probably one of the most requested features for the last 20 years. I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous. It's kind of like from the beginning of time.
Since I started with Zoho in 2018, this has been an extremely common request. Rich text, for those who don't know off the top of their head, this is like, kind of like HTML formatting, bulleted list, bolding text, right? Things like that. Just
colors,
designing the text that's inside of a particular field. And they're looking to add that here to CRM.
Yes. So what they're going to do, it's kind of interesting, is basically are going to have this option when you have a multi-line field. So when you decide I'm going to have a multi-line field, you can go ahead and basically make it from, it's going to now be rich text. You have the ability to choose whether it's going to be rich text, which is kind of interesting. You can say, I want plain small text, plain large text, or rich text. So when you're creating this multi-line field, you're going to have to choose rich text every time. I imagine there might be some instances where you don't want rich text to be available.
Pretty rare, I would think. Right?
I would think
you can always just not use it,
rare.
Right? Yeah. If you didn't care about putting bullets in it, you just wouldn't, right? You could just use it like a normal multi-line field.
Yeah, and I have no idea why it's taken so long for this to occur, but it is now finally there. It's in beta. You need to request access to it, but it is not available. Or it is only available in Australia, Japan, and Canada.
Great job.
Yes. So and it says
it looks like Enterprise Edition.
Enterprise Edition in the EU. And what's CN?
Well,
I can tell you because somebody does it down here. So here's the big thing: not available in the US, and not Notes doesn't get rich text yet. But in the comments of this lovely announcement, besides every single person going, why isn't it in the U.S.? Huh? I don't understand. Why isn't it in the U.S.? They do say that Notes will be upgraded, and that's going to happen in the future. Don't worry, we're going to work on that, and we'll keep you posted on the U.S. And the U.S. needs it. And then I love this one. This guy, I'm sorry, another Bosch rollout. He's very upset. So. Oh, there is no Canada. The CN is Canada. So they just mix CA and CN together up top. So the data centers are US data center, EU data center, India, Australia. So everybody gets this, but India and the US. At least they're punishing India as well. It's
got to be maybe they want to roll it out in the less used data centers. I would have to think US and India are probably the heaviest hitters, right, in terms of Zoho customers. So maybe they want to
for sure
see how it shakes out first. I mean, I can't imagine it would be too intense.
Figure out how badly rich text would affect server load.
It shouldn't matter much, but
baffled by all of this. So anyway, there you go. It will be coming eventually to a theater near you, but currently not. But it's cool. I mean, man, oh man, it needs to be there.
I can't wait.
It's got to be there. Hopefully it shows up soon.
Beautiful thing too will be, and this is my hope, is that if eventually you can take that rich text field and merge it into a document, right? So you could have all of this stuff just designed in the deal, press a magic button, and then it goes into like a scope of work section. I want that selfishly because I would use it in our proposal process now if I could.
That's a really good point. When you if you have a rich text multi-line field and you're doing a mail merge, is it going to keep the formatting?
It's not 100% confirmed yet. I know Zoe's mentioned that you can hit these via Deluge and they'll come back in HTML format. So you should be able to put it in an email without any problem. And then, yeah, I would assume you could get it into a writer document. You might have to make some formatting tweaks with a function, right? Kind of like turn it into a different format. But
right
yeah,
now, I mean, I'm doing just a mail merge, or isn't that what they call it? Mail merge, when you're just doing a writer, whatever. It's not really mail, but I mean, if you're in a CRM record and you basically say you want to do a merge with writer and it merges it into writer, you can pull multi-line fields in. You can pull those in. I mean, without having any deluge, it's just map that field. I'm just wondering if it's going to carry forward the formatting.
Yeah, what's it going to look like? Yeah, but if that works nicely, that will be such a beautiful thing. So yeah, I can't wait for that to get rolled out in the US so we can start playing with it a little more.
Very, very, very nice. It's exciting. It's exciting. So hopefully it'll come soon. Especially the notes field would be awesome as well. I mean, it's great to have it there, but the notes field is one that's where it should have been from day one. Seems to me that's where they should have started. It's not, hey, here's a new field, but hey, notes now has it. But
yeah, would be nice to have it in both at the end of the day.
Because all you got to do is just change the editor and like all the notes can stay there. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Exposing a web form as a link or QR code and actions on submit customization in CRM. So, if you are using Zoho CRM web forms and not to be confused with Zoho Forms, which is a whole separate application, but in the CRM you can build web forms. You now have the ability to have them as links and QR codes, and they can automatically be linked that way. So you can have a URL. You can, basically. It'll automatically generate a QR code for you as well. So very nice. You can do all this in Zoho Forms currently. So this is a lot of functionality that's inside of Zoho Forms that's now being pushed over to the web form side of CRM.
Yeah, super nice to have. So a couple new options for delivery. And then they did update kind of routing them after a submission to a thank you page. So if you want them to land on a specific URL, a little easier to do that now. You're also able to customize what that standard response thank you will look like. So yeah, just some minor updates there. The big one is really that first half, being able to generate QR codes and unique links. QR codes probably being the most important, right? You go to a trade show, you want these leads to come in right away, right? So you can just create that real quick. It is one of those tools we don't find ourselves using a lot because the vast majority of our customers have access to Zoho Forms. And so we end up just doing a lot of the form building there. But always have to keep in mind, there are people with just CRM or maybe CRM Plus that doesn't include Zoho Forms for whatever reason. I always thought it should have. Definitely nice to have more, distribution options here.
Very cool. So good stuff. And also in CRM, Zoho Canvas got some customizable tables and related lists, sub-tab grouping, and some actions for better navigation. Zoho Canvas in CRM is pretty cool. It allows you basically to change the complete look and feel of any page. You can customize it, rearrange things, move them where you want to go. This thing is 5 years old now. It's gotten better and better. Scalability issues fixed, Tyler?
Mostly, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So, these are some tweaks that just need to happen, I would say, as you kind of go through and we're building this out. People will want the things that they're adding in here. So, especially around subforms. So, fairly nice enhancements. Anything, what jumps out at you here?
Yeah, the big two here are being able to customize the look and feel of a related list, right? So previously, you could take a related list and put it wherever you want in a canvas view, but it would basically just look like rows and columns. Now you can assign like some color coding, some formatting, some more kind of like call outs as a part of those related lists. The next one, this is one I would imagine people liking a lot that use Canvas, is what they're calling sub-tabs. So essentially, let's say you have these 3 related lists on a deal. You've got quotes, sales orders, and invoices, right? Maybe you want to make a sub-tab called transactions. and then nest each of those underneath it, right? Or the example, if you're watching us on YouTube, is they've got a marketing sub tab where you see emails, social, and campaigns.
Yeah.
Right. So just a little bit more organization as you go into this. I will say, like, this one, I would imagine being pretty impactful because a lot of users struggle with the related lists in CRM.
Yes, they do.
Like, a lot of data lives in related lists, and people find them kind of non-obvious, which is reasonable because you look at that left-hand bar and you've got like 15 of these lists there. Right. So being able to just organize them into like, hey, this is stuff about sales. This is stuff about marketing. This is stuff about project fulfillment, whatever. Right. Just being able to organize those a little bit more cleanly into groupings, I think will make it much easier to use. I would honestly love to see that in the non-canvas view. Just being able to do that with the normal related lists would be great. But yeah, this is one that's pretty nice. I would imagine a lot of people appreciate this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching us on YouTube, it's very nice. I would love to see this. This is something that doesn't have to be in Canvas. This would just be super nice to have just a general CRM.
Just in a normal view, yeah.
Ability to clean those up as well. So nice enhancements across the board to Canvas. And with that, let's move on to Bigin. Tyler's favorite new application that's not new. Didn't you do like old Bigin video?
Not too long ago, yeah, I did kind of a run through on Bigin. I think like last year, later in last year.
Yeah. So now they've made some enhancements to the list view inside of Bigin, so you can.
And a lot of these are
this is minor stuff, man. Almost left this out of the show.
Yeah, we used to have that running joke of, man, I thought that was already there, and this goes into that. So now these updates here, so you can resize columns in Bigin. That's it's nice. You can drag and drop them to reorder them. That one you could do, but you'd have to go into like the column editor, right? The little drop down and drag and drop them there. One that I will say is nice. It's dangerous, but it's nice. Is they've added the ability to add a field right from the list view, which is good. Personally, as a preference, I still am always going to go into the back end settings, right? That's just where I'm most comfortable doing it.
Well,
but the thing with Bigin is
you can't control where the field's going to go. The field's just going to randomly end up probably at the bottom of the page, right? But you can go in later, I guess, and fix it.
Yeah, I actually did this just recently. I recorded a video on Zoho Projects 8, and they did the same thing there where you can add custom fields just from the task view. And it's cool, but I don't know. You got to be careful with that permission, right? Who's allowed to do this? Because you don't really want people just adding things willy-nilly while they're working on their deals or, their task list.
Yep. And now you've got your sorting options.
That's crazy. That wasn't there. Yeah, you can now sort on a column.
I could have sworn that was there.
Quick filters.
Yep, filters.
Another good one.
Filters that are there as well. Column-based filters as well. And boy, you talk about you can now rename and edit fields on the fly. Not only can you add them, you can rename them and edit them. This has got to be super admin only stuff here.
And I'm almost thinking, with this, because these are very similar updates to what I, again, like just covered in that Projects version 8 video. I wonder if they're looking at some of those tools like Monday that are kind of built around making all of your customizations in more of like a list view and the success that those tools are having, and trying to, implement some of those usability features here. This might be one of those things that people are going to love, but me, just as a more of a developer minded person, I'm always going to go into the back end anyways. But yeah, I can imagine a lot of people appreciating just the easier access to customization.
Well, I have to give the Bigin team credit here. When they said we've got some enhancements to list view, they weren't kidding. They went all out. I mean, across the board.
These are meaningful. Yeah, they're definitely meaningful updates.
Yeah, they revamped everything. So very, very cool. And perhaps, in my opinion, I guess if rich text was real, I would say that would be the biggest news of the week. But this news from the Zoho Sign team is currently my favorite news of the week. Just big. So they have partnered with Ideology to actually do something called what is it? Knowledge-based authentication. You've all seen this. You go to sign something in DocuSign or Adobe Sign, and before you can sign it, it's asking you a series of questions. Which one of these streets did you live on? And it gives you 5 streets. And you have to say, oh, I lived on Bixler. And, you click that. And, which one of these cars have you owned? And it gives you make and model of several cars, which just is so scary that this information lives in the public domain. They can know this about you. So they ask you all of these series of questions. You answer them. They have a pretty good idea that if you were able to answer those, you are probably you. And then you can go ahead and sign the document. So Zoho has never had that. And it's been one of those things that really kind of important. I mean, you have to do this for things, for lots of various documents that, require it. Real estate, legal transactions, there's all these, anything government, you have to verify that, you in fact are you. And so they have now included that. And I think it's big. And it's only, Zoho giveth and Zoho taketh away. Everybody in the rest of the world who has rich text, guess what? You don't have this feature. It's only available in the U.S. data center. So
this one, that kind of makes sense because different regions kind of have different ways, right, of doing this validation. Yeah, this is one of those stories that, like, for a decent amount of our listeners, they might go like, why is Brett so excited about this? It's no big deal. I don't need this. Not everyone does. The thing is that there are people who need this. They need some second layer of authentication for their industry due to like compliance. Yeah. And this has been something where like they cannot use Zoho Sign previously, and now they can. Right. And comparing the pricing to something like DocuSign, Adobe Sign, like this kind of enables a lot of those companies to access very meaningful savings moving over to Zoho Sign without having to sacrifice this layer of authentication. It's a need to have for those businesses.
And if you're listening, Sign team, fix permissions and away we go. Right?
Good to go. Yeah, you're rocking and rolling.
All we have to do is fix the permission issues, because right now you can have an admin and a user. User can see their stuff. Admin can see everything. There's nothing in between.
No in between at all.
Right. So if they fix that, boom, rock solid. This is big. So really happy that they got that done. And with that, Tyler, let's head on over to our implementation of the week.
All right, so this is a pretty fun one built out by George and JP on our team. It's essentially a custom button in CRM to invite a contact to a Zoom meeting. So the context for this is that the way this client's workflow works is that a client who is a subscriber calls in to get a certain type of service from us. And there are cases where just the phone call isn't enough. Maybe I need a video, maybe I need a screen share. I need more information than I can get just on a phone call. So the goal was essentially to set up a workflow where the user on our side can be on the phone. They can identify, hey, this issue needs a Zoom meeting to be resolved. I can't just do it on the phone. They can click one button. That button will invite the customer to a Zoom meeting, and it will also launch the Zoom meeting for the user on our side. And so to accomplish this, first thing we did is set up a connection to Zoom. Zoom has APIs where you can generate a new meeting link automatically. It's important in this case not to use like your standard default link that's going to be the same all the time, because you don't want people to be able to rejoin later and like listen in on a conversation, right? So you really want to make sure each of these meetings is a unique meeting ID in Zoom. So when the user presses the button, we can go ahead and create that URL. We can bring that URL back to the CRM. It's being stored in a kind of a request record, right, that gets generated when the phone call is answered. Then that button will also then take that link and send it out to the client via a email. We could also do SMS. In this case, we're not, but it wouldn't be an issue to just send it with an email and or a text. And then lastly, the button will also do an open URL on the link, which for that, for the employee who has a Zoom license, that will automatically launch the meeting, right? So it's the same as like clicking the link on your calendar and having it launch. So really smooth implementation. I mean, just a one button press and everything just happens. Link generated, gets sent, opens up. So we're already there waiting for them once they have a chance to click on it. Really smooth. And great work to George and JP on this.
Super cool. Super cool. I love it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what client that is. You'll have to tell me afterwards. It's interesting. Interesting implementation. So
yeah, it's a pretty slick one.
Very, very good. And with that, let's head back over to Club Z and take a look at our code share of the week. Well, Tyler, you say, wow, we are giving away all of our special sauce. I would say major code share. JP has put this together. This is automating CRM attachments migration to WorkDrive. So you're using Zoho CRM. You've been attaching things for years, and you're running out of storage. You get a message saying, "Oh, you're approaching all of your storage. You need to buy more storage," but you don't, because you have WorkDrive. And all you have to do is take all those attachments, migrate them to WorkDrive, and associate a WorkDrive folder to that contact folder or account folder, and away you go. But that's so much work, because I have to download everything and then I have to upload everything. But no, you don't, because here we are at Zenatta to the rescue with a Deleuze script that is going to grab the attachments, move the attachments, delete the attachments, do every single thing you need. This is a major piece of code, I mean, we use this all the time. We charge billions and billions of dollars for this.
The problem, Brett had the perfect example, right? Like, a lot of clients will come to us, they've been using Zoho for a long time, and they get that alert, right, that you need to buy more storage. Then you go in and you look at the price for buying CRM storage, your eyes pop out of your head because it's ludicrous. It's just not what storage cost. So a lot of the times it's something we implement for people right out of the gate. Let's put in the magic script that's just going to move everything to WorkDrive. It's included with Zoho One. You might as well be using it. Trick is making sure you've got like folders created and things like that for the accounts and contacts. It looks like this may even be creating them as part of the script. So
I think it is
pretty straightforward. But super useful implementation, one that we do all the time. Well worth taking a look at if you are starting to have that storage issue, because it'll get you, and you really don't want to pay that additional price for more storage.
No. So there you go. I'm going to leave this up for 3 days, and then I'm taking it down. But honestly, great little trick there. And I don't know, we've been doing this for a few years now. This was with the undocumented API for WorkDrive, right?
Originally. No, it was documented in a writer document. It was a public writer document. With just text, very vaguely described text. Nowadays, they have great documentation on the WorkDrive API. But originally, it was just that like unlisted secret writer doc that had all the APIs
Greg
on
found,
it.
I think. Did Greg find it or something like that?
Yeah.
Boom, we went. That was great. All righty. And with that, let's head back. Oh, before I leave here, Freddie, you almost pushed that button. You were so close to putting the next transition, but you stopped.
Yes, I was.
I know. We're at Club Z. That is our online community. Club Zenatta. You need to go there. You need to hang out with other like-minded Zoho people. Ask questions. Get answers. Meet friends. Meet your future spouse. You never know what's going to happen over in Club Z. It's a magical place. All we request is your email address so we know you are you. We can validate you. Send you a link says you're you. Once we know you're you, you can participate. You can read the code share. You can look at everything. We'd love to have you come join us over at Club Z. Welcome home. Now, let's go back over to Zenatta.com and see what's happening over there.
Welcome home.
I'm cracking Tyler up.
Welcome home. That one got me. I like that.
I don't even know. I don't even do drugs. If I did drugs, there'd be an explanation for me, but nothing. Anyway, all right. 4 takeaways from Google and Yahoo's updated email authentication requirements. I'm still trying to figure out how Google and Yahoo got together and did this at the same time, but we covered this last week. There are some big changes to how they're basically authenticating email to make sure that they're tired of spam. DMARC is the big one. We always said do SPF and DKIM. DMARC is something that just needs to be done now, or your emails just aren't going to go through. So this is just an article that kind of goes into the little more detail why it happens, what it means, how it how it affects things. So nice little follow up on our story.
Just the big thing to highlight on this is it doesn't matter if you are using Gmail or not. This is if you want your email to be delivered to someone who's using Gmail. So everyone should do this. Even if you're on Outlook 365, doesn't matter. Your customers might be using Gmail or less likely might be using Yahoo, and you want your emails to be delivered to them. So this is universal. This is not just for people that are on Google. This is something that everybody should be doing at this point with your email authentication.
All righty. And let's wrap this show up with not one, but two tips of the week from our very own Tyler Colt. Tyler. All right, we start with effortless cleanup using admin tools in Zoho CRM, and they have done a lot with this lately. So let's talk about these.
Yeah, essentially, this is a video I've kind of been meaning to make for a while. Admin tools in CRM were added last year, and it's essentially an easy way to identify customization that's not being used and delete it. So there's a bunch of different categories: custom views, forms, workflows, email templates, all of these different groupings. So I kind of went through each of those, highlighted like how you can tell what's old, right? Because like an email template, it's when it was last used. A workflow is when it was last triggered, right? A custom view is when it was last looked at. So you have kind of different parameters you need to use to filter as you go through each of these different modules. But the nice thing is, it makes it easy to just get rid of all that old stuff that you're no longer using. Honestly, I should use this in our CRM. I bet we've got a bunch of old email templates that could just be deleted, custom views that could be deleted. So yeah, maybe that'll be my little Friday project. I'll just go through and rip out a bunch of unused stuff from our system, because it just happens. Even people who use it all the time, it's like you make an email template, you don't need it anymore, but you don't delete it. So then it just sits there forever.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And this was recorded pre-haircut, I see. When did you
record this? Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
Tuesday? I think Tuesday. No, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a little time capsule of your life right there. Cool stuff. And then while you were at it, you said, I'm not done yet. We now have the brand new enhanced features and functionalities in Zoho Projects version 8. And so you decided to go through and cover all of the stuff in Zoho Projects. I haven't played with this yet. What are the key takeaways?
Key things. Well, one that I didn't know when I pulled this up to make the video, they added a bunch of project template examples that you can use, which is great because templates are like the most important thing in projects. So they added a massive gallery. Like this that I'm showing on the screen, that's an example project that they loaded in for like a software engagement. Wow. So yeah, having the gallery is really great. And then the big thing is basically they've added effectively like sheet views to a lot of the lists. So it makes it a lot easier to use like keystroke commands to go through and make lots of updates. They've added a new view for the Gantt chart that I think is a lot better. And that's kind of like the main way that a lot of people use projects. So yeah, not too much in terms of like core functionality, more about like usage, customization, and kind of the front end of the application. Yeah. Yeah, really nice updates across the board. This is something that we're going to try to do more of this year, essentially when new features and functionalities come out. Make sure we get a video up for you guys, just because we know it's not always clear what is Zoho Projects 8. I recorded this one because I had a couple people ask me in the last week, like, what's the deal with that? And I'm like, well, I should probably go read that whole article, make sure that we know the deal with it, and then let everybody know. So let us know, comments below, if these types of things are helpful for you, but it's something that we want to start doing a little more often as new big features come out and become available.
Well, evidently a lot of people wanted to know because we dropped this 20 hours ago and 207 people have watched it already. So
that's the hope.
As usual, Tyler, a great demo of the updates. I missed the adding of a custom column, so thanks. See? Oh, Steven Sandor. You're welcome, Steven. Hope you're doing
Happy
well.
to help.
There you go.
That is a tiny button.
Alrighty.
The button he missed is absolutely tiny. Most people will miss that button.
Well, Tyler, another CRM Zen show is in the bag.
Yeah, headed into February now. Year's already going by so quick.
I cannot believe it. Well, I survived January, so that was good.
Made it off the boat.
Doubts I was going to make it there, but survived January. So now it's going to be an interesting year. Well, everybody, we want to thank you so much for watching us, supporting us. We hope you find these videos useful. If you need help with your Zoho project and you would like to talk to Tyler, myself, Josh, Jordan, other people.
Who knows?
Wayne, John, about how we can help you, well, just head over to Zenatta.com and click on book a meeting, and we will be talking to you in no time.
And on the website, it's also where you'll find complete episodes of the show, as well as links to all the stories we discussed today. If you want that news delivered to your inbox every Monday morning, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. And last but not least, as always, we appreciate when you like and subscribe here on YouTube, as well as your choice of podcast app. We'll see you next Friday.
Take care, everybody. A Podcasters in production. Check out podcastershead.com.